Okay, so you guys know I've been having issues with my hydraulic cylinders leaking right here. And winter's coming on. I hate having an oil mess everywhere. It's hard to clean up. As you can see right here on the floor, I've got some. Every time I park this thing, even if I don't use the tilt, for some reason it does leak a little bit of fluid. So what I'm gonna do today is tear into these cylinders and take the seals apart, or take the cylinders apart and take the seals out, take those down to a local Amish-owned hydraulic shop here in the area, and they said they should have them in stock. They'll match them up and we'll go from there. So the first thing I need to do is right here where when this tilts, it'll come down. I need to take the pressure off of that. So I'm gonna put some blocking underneath there and let it down on that blocking, and hopefully that will allow us to get these loose and get them out. You can see it dripping, and that's what we got to get rid of. And we've got another one over here. So I think we'll just take one off for now, take it down, see what they can do, and go from there. Wow, there's a lot of pressure on there. Okay. Even though the jack was in there, it still had quite a bit of pressure on it. You know, one nice thing about the area where we live, there's all these Amish shops, and these Amish shops carry just about everything. So we've got shops that carry just about anything you can imagine. Like this hydraulic shop, I'll go there, and they will probably have this seal in stock, or at least they're assuming they will. And you know, that's something you don't have just anywhere you go. My little brother moved down to Virginia, and down there, they simply don't have hydraulic shops that have stuff like that in stock. When he needs a hydraulic line, he has to drive an hour to Richmond to get a hydraulic line. You know, any specialty stuff, he has to drive an hour to go somewhere, to a big city that has stuff in stock. And I could probably go to, you know, 2, 3, maybe even 4 different hydraulic shops within a half-hour drive, and find exactly what I need. So it's very interesting that, you know, in Amish country, when there's this type of stuff, whether it's woodworking, hydraulic, machinists, anything like that, you can find a place that stocks everything. That stocks everything you need. And so we're very blessed in this area to be able to have all those different things. And I think it's not just this area, it's anywhere that you have the Amish Mennonite communities. They tend to have businesses that will have everything because they know things will come up, and so they stock pretty much anything. Just an interesting fact. But for now, let's see if we can get this pin pushed out of here. There is a hole on the other side of this where I can get a punch through and hopefully punch that out. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, looky here what we're using today. Of course, Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law had to go down underneath in the worst possible spot. But Wow, it does not look like this has been greased in a while. Whew. I haven't had this forklift that long, but yeah, it's not worn a lot, but there's definitely no grease in there. Okay, now we've got one on the front yet, and that whole cylinder should come out of there. And pretty simple fix. Okay. Oops, I had the camera on the wrong side. I had to drop it down underneath here and then unplug this so I could get it out. But I was able to get that through there. Okay, to the workbench. I'm not sure what year this forklift is, but I'm assuming these are the original cylinders. It only had 300 hours on it when I got it. And I think it has like maybe 350 hours now. It does have a date stamp, 11/2 of 2000. The forklift comes from a military auction. There was a gentleman I dealt with down in Washington, D.C. area that I bought it from. Paid $1,500 for it. The battery was pretty much shot and it didn't come with a charger. Picked it up, brought it back, and the battery was completely dead. No charger. A friend of mine had a shop that he had an electric forklift, and he charged it for me to see if if anything works, or everything works, I guess I should say. And after figuring out that things were working, I went ahead and I bought a charger, and I was able to rejuvenate the battery for the most part. It still doesn't hold a charge. If I was using it all day, every day, I'd have to get a new battery. I could probably get an hour and a half of runtime with it. Okay, let's keep going here. Huh. Okay. Okay. Looky there. That thing was not fun taking apart. And I did miss showing you taking this. There was a pin in here that wrapped around the inside here and then caught in here as well. Somehow I missed showing that. I thought my camera was recording it. It obviously wasn't. But I will show that on the other one when I take that out. For now, I'm just taking the one out, and I'm going to take it to the hydraulic shop and match up the seals. So it's not these outside seals that are leaking at all. It's this inner one on this lobe. So I need to take this apart, which requires me to take this nut off. And yeah, that's a standard thread. Okay, let me get my impact. So, it's these seals in here that are the problem. And they are chewed up a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, they're chewed up pretty good. Okay, well, Now that we've got it apart, I'm gonna go to the hydraulic shop. There, and I'll take that down. The other thing I wanna do, while I'm going down in that area, I'm not gonna be far from, it's also an Amish shop. They do metalworking, and I'm gonna get the new floor pans, or the floorboards, for the Steiner 230 I'm working on. And I've got the old ones cut off, get measurements off that, go down there, have them bend me a piece, and they'll do that while I wait. So I'll be back, see you in a little bit.
Ich bräuchte zwei, nu is de allemaal cilinderdrusjes met T. Dus so ich bräuchte actually 6 von het.
So there it is, that shop.
Ich brauche nicht einen vollen Stick. Kom. Hast du ein Messer? Nicht ein Messer, ein Messer.
Okay guys, so I got a couple things. So right now I'm just recording using my GoPro camera's microphone built in. And if I turn my head away and I'm talking over here because I'm looking at something while I'm talking to you, you can't hear me as well. And I keep having to adjust everything with the, going in, and when I edit, I have to cut and extract the sound and try to clean it up, because when I make it louder, there's more noise, background noise and stuff. So I went and I got myself a DJI microphone. It's a mini mic, and I didn't spend the money to get the whole big set. It's just an individual one. It was like 35 bucks. So we're gonna find out if the sound is better. And it should be fairly simple to hook up. Exactly, that's Japanese and Portuguese, and where the heck is English? Spanish, English. These instructions are incredible. All of this is to give me that little bit right there is English. Well, so much for that, I guess. Okay, so apparently that works. The other thing I got is on my GoPro, I have a handy dandy little thing here. Let me just show you. So, now I'm going to set you guys on top here. Okay, so right now I have this flex. It lets me go any direction, turn it any which way I want to. And it has a quick detach on the bottom, and I've got the same thing on the camera. So the camera just snaps into here. I snap this on, and I've got a magnet. Well, that magnet isn't always the handiest. So sometimes that will be the way to do it. But there are times where I'd like to be able to have something more like this. I turn it on, it can't move. And I just shook the table. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to epoxy this piece on, and that's for the quick attach that I can just slide it in there. Cool thing is I can also put it against like that. So if I want to attach it to my pallet racking, a forklift, Steiner, any kind of equipment, I can use this. If I need it on something else, I can use some other thing with the quick attach. How easy is it to just walk up, boom, I've got on there. If I want to grab the camera and go, like right now, the magnet lets go and, you know, you've got a big jerk. Here, I can just come over, grab the camera and start walking, and you'll never notice the shakiness of it jerking loose. So anyways, not that you guys care about that, but figured I'd show you that real quick. So back to the forklift. T's in here. So, yeah, I don't want to just pry on that. I need to get a backup on there. Last thing I want is to break something off. Oh my goodness, yeah, that would have definitely broken that off if I hadn't had a backup on there. Let me get a little spritz of some schmutz on there. And most people, I think, know what schmutz is, but in case you don't know, that is German for grease, or at least it's, I shouldn't say it's German, it's Pennsylvania Dutch for grease. So if you schmutz something up, you're greasing it. And I believe it's also the word used for grease in a couple other languages too. Not sure. Anyway, get it. Now, now, let's take this tab off of here. Now, on this one, I'm going to go straight in the side here and see how this grease dirt is actually facing in. On the other side, what I did, and I'm going to try to do the same thing here if I can get to it, I actually put that retainer clip on this side because both sides are tapped for it. Then I can take my grease gun in the side here to grease it instead of having to take the floorboard out to grease that. I think having that would just make greasing it a lot easier. So let's see to get this sucker out of here. Oh. So somehow I missed recording on. So apparently my GoPro, when I have this mic connected to it, it does not give me any audio cues what's going on. And my GoPro was, you know, recording, everything was going great. I showed you the entire cylinder coming apart, all that, and, you know, pulling this thing out, which was a pain in the butt. And I even showed up close, you know, things going on with it. And my battery died in my GoPro. And there was no audio letting me know that it died or anything, because since I have this microphone connected to it, it doesn't give me any audio feedback whatsoever. It now thinks that this microphone is also the Bluetooth speaker as well. And so now the recording that was happening at the time of the death of the battery disappeared. And I know I brought it in close. I showed everything that was going on, and that is completely gone. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is, but it quit recording, and I don't have any of that. So I actually have it now to the point where I'm going back together. This is the second cylinder I've torn apart and fixed, and both of them, my GoPro has left me wishing for better. I, at this point, would not recommend a GoPro to anyone. And I really wish I would have gone with something else, because this GoPro is not working for me. I'm not going to spend the money for something else at this point, but I'm really regretting my decision to go with GoPro. So that being said, I got all of this in here. As you can see, I took the old seals out. The old ones, this is supposed to be rubber, and it is brittle as can be. It's just breaking apart. And the other seal that was in the inside here, I had also shown you how that was. The seal here, let me show you what I did. I had to put, this is a double seal. It has this type of a seal in there. Underneath it is this rubber seal. To stretch this down over it, and this is the old one, to stretch it down over, it gets way bigger than it should be. So then I had to compress it. And ideally, I would have a, something like maybe a, like a cylinder ring compressor. I could put that on here, compress this, and hold it. I didn't have one of those, so I made a makeshift cylinder ring compressor and used that. It worked. I'm very disappointed in my GoPro that it did not get this. But hey, that happens. I even tried to get Pepsi to sponsor me. It was a good beg for sponsorship, and it's gone now. I can't redo it. I'm pretty sure Pepsi would have sponsored me if I had that recording, because it was good. But I guess I won't have a Pepsi sponsorship now. Anyways, besides all that, let's get everything put back together. Maybe going back together will help you understand what was missed. So first things first, we're going to put this, I think it's, see, there again, the GoPro just randomly decided that it was going to stop recording. I don't know when it stopped recording. And there we went again. It lasted for about 7 seconds, and it just decided to quit recording. And because I'm using this microphone, I don't get any audio feedback telling me that it quit. So I have to constantly visually look to see if it's recording. And I am really starting to hate GoPro. So if you have any advice, let me know in the comments down there, because I am really not a fan of this GoPro. It is just not a camera that I would ever recommend to anyone. And I don't know. I look at, you know, Diesel Creek. I watch him. I watch Farmcraft 101. I watch, watch Wrecker Rick. You know, I don't know what kind of cameras those guys are using. They probably have way better cameras than I do. They're big guys. They're big names. But I'm very frustrated. GoPro definitely is not getting a recommendation from me. Anyways, I'll keep going. I'm not sure where it cut off, but by turning this, it is pulling this in slowly. I'm pretty sure you caught that part, but it's a slow process. I have most certainly seen better ways of putting one of these together, but I'm sure it works. It's not something you have to do often, and if you had the proper tools, I'm guessing this would probably be quicker than threaded. So I'm not going to complain too much about that. Alrighty, I think we are ready to put this thing back in. So let's head back to there. Okay, we're going to try to put this one in the same way we did the other side. Okay, that one's in. Now let's line up the front one and get it in. Ah, Lordy. This has got a ball in there. Kind of like you'd have on a 3-point hitch. So this ball is in here, and it needs to line up. So if you don't get that started just perfect, it wants to turn that ball, and then if it turns that ball, now you don't have, now you're binding it. It's a little bit of a pain, but at the end of the day, that being harder to get in is worth it for the benefit of having that ball in there, because that ball wears. It's going to be a lot better as far as wear is concerned, because you don't have just metal on metal. You have a ball socket that can give a little bit. It is well worth the trade-off of being a little bit harder to get in there. Now, that one's lined up, the back one's lined up. Now the question is, can I get that side piece in there? Is right there. I need to get this down in the side there and get that bolt in right there on that shaft. There is a slot, and I need to get that slot lined up perfectly. So that means the pin has to go in just a smidge right there. And now I'm going to try to get in there from the other side. By going on the other side, I can get a better angle of attack here. Oh, wow. Not that it's a great angle of attack, but again, this is one of those things where it's going to be a little bit tougher right now to get this in here, but the benefit at the end of the day is that I can grease it from the outside. See, if it was over here, it would be fairly simple for me to just put the screw in. But then I have to take the floorboard out every time I want to grease it. This way, there's a hole in the frame that lines up with that for me to grease it. And I think I've got it started. Put this flashlight back out of here. And it's perfect timing. It died. Put that on the charger and grab my other flashlight. Man, I tell you what, rechargeable flashlights are phenomenal. The one I'm going to use now, it does have a, it's a Big Larry. And you do have to change the batteries on this one. So let's see if I can. And since this side of the cylinder, it is tapped, but it hasn't had a screw in it. So the screw is having to dig through the paint, and I should have run it in and back out again before I did this. I'm still a little disappointed, a little bitter at my GoPro for missing the good footage I had of showing how I put this cylinder together. But hey, it happens. You know, probably the Pepsi sponsorship that I would have gotten with my, plead for sponsorship, that was wonderful. You know, being sponsored by Pepsi would probably go into my head, and then, who knows? I would have thought I was some big shot or something. Who knows? Either way, guess what? My forklift's going to be fixed. And as much as I'm frustrated with my GoPro, this too shall pass, because I will one day get a different camera. But anyways, Diesel Creek or Farmcraft 101, you know what? If you guys
or any other YouTuber that's got experience. If you're out there and you want to tell me what kind of camera would be best for what I'm doing, I would love some advice. Huh. Come on, flashlight. Don't give out on me now. Oh, we don't need red flashing. There. Have this thing not leak again. It's going to be beautiful because, man, is it a pain in the butt dealing with hydraulics leaking all the time. Okay, now here is where I need to fill it. And I'm not sure how much I've lost. Wow, huh. I'm below low. Here's full, here's low, and I'm somewhere down here. Okay, let's get some hydraulic fluid in here. I'm not sure how much hydraulic fluid I've lost over time, but man, I feel like I've cleaned up like 100 gallons. Yep, I'm right here. Full is right here. I don't know how far below empty I was or below low I was, but gonna give it a few more pumps here. No, pumped it a little fast there. That's dumb. Yeah, the screen, it's got a screen. It screens it as you put it in. And pumped it too fast. And it couldn't go through the screen fast enough. That's dumb. Now I'll have leaking down on the ground from that for a while. Okay, we are right up there, just a smidge below full, and I'm going to leave it right there. And we'll put this breather back on. Now I can get right in the side here. Now let's see if we can get this to go. Looky there, it works. Did something right. It's just the battery pack to, keep this GoPro from dying on me again, which it's not charging. I'm not sure why. I've got it plugged in, and it's not charging. I don't know. Let's get the floorboard back in here. Let's see. How great would this be if, oh, you know what? While we're here, let's get this unhooked. So, this was kind of makeshift, but it worked. Got that strap back. Put that strap back here. I keep that strap on my forklift all the time, and typically this chain is on my forklift too all the time because I use it to pick things up with my forklift. So, just keep it right there on the floorboard on my forklift. Take this little chain hoist, put it away, and then we're ready to test this some more. And hopefully I won't have hydraulic fluid all over my floor anymore. Okay, if you heard a bunch of banging, that was my microphone getting knocked off by the ladder. Okay, gotcha. I gotcha. I won't let you fall. How about right there? Can you see from there? Yeah, good? Okay. Definitely have air in the cylinders. Okay, we're gonna back it right back here where I keep it. And it's right by the charger. I don't charge this thing overnight. I probably could, but I haven't been charging it overnight because I feel like when I charge it overnight, I don't really, I feel like it doesn't charge as much. I need to unplug it as soon as it's done charging. I feel like if I leave it plugged in, the charger actually draws it down. I don't know, could be wrong. So, what I'm going to do here is, if you look here, if I stick you on here, see? Magnet sticking to my shelving. So if you look here, this is, you know, close to level. Maybe needs to tilt forward just a little bit. Right there, it's pretty darn close to level. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it just like that overnight. And before, it would drift forward. And we're going to see if it drifts. Maybe it won't drift anymore, you know? Maybe fixing this will keep it from drifting. And that's kind of the hope, the goal. And I'll go from there. But one more thing. Oh, no, never mind. It's not dry yet. I'm really happy about these magnets. That is so cool that you can just turn a magnet on and off. And if you don't understand how these work, I'm not going to go into detail and give a big drawn out thing on how these work. If you want a more in-depth thing, there's lots of videos on YouTube already that show this. I just think it's cool that you can do it that way and you're stuck, and you can do it that way and you're stuck. Now, if you go on the side, I don't think it has it. A little bit, not much. Maybe with time I'll get good enough to where I just go up and, you know, because the camera's on, I don't know. That's stupid. You don't want to hear about that. But anyways, there we go. I think those magnets are cool. And if you like them, you can find them on Amazon. Check it out. Well, that's it for fixing the forklift, I guess. We're going to have one more thing. Tomorrow morning I'll come out. I'll turn that on, or I'll turn the camera on, and we'll see if that has moved at all. So, all right. See you in the morning. I'm going to clean up a little bit. You know, that's one thing. Since I started doing YouTube videos, I have noticed I keep my shop cleaner. You know, I don't want all of you seeing how messy I allow my shop to get sometimes. So I keep it clean. It's a win-win situation. If you guys think my shop is messy already and you're wondering how messy it was before, whew, yeah, hopefully that's not the way you were thinking about it. Hope not. Still waiting, Pepsi. Still need a sponsorship. Pepsi's just so much better than Coke, you know? My wife and I, we don't fight. But if we did fight, I think the only thing we'd fight about is which is better, Pepsi or Coke. Because I know I'm right. Pepsi is better. It always has been. I've got a little brother, too, down in Virginia. West Virginia, Virginia, I don't know. So that's all the same. Anyways, he thinks Coke is better, too. I think this rag here, if I need to oil anything, I'll just rub this rag over it. It's got a lot of hydraulic fluid on it. That stuff I'll take care of in the morning. Yeah. You know what? I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. You all keep an eye on this. If that starts tilting forward, you let me know. See you later. See you in the morning. Gosh. What do you say, Maggie? It's a long day. Well, good morning. Boy, looks like that didn't take care of our drifting issue. But it does look like I don't have any more oil on the floor. Let's check it out. Oh, how beautiful. That is such a beautiful sight. Not a drop of oil. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's some oil on the floor there, but it is definitely not from parking it there this time. So, oil leak fixed. Now I can continue on the Steiner 230. And I've got something to show you on that. Yesterday, when I went down to Holmes County to get my hydraulic stuff, I also stopped and got some pieces that I need for the 230. And I was actually pretty impressed. So I've got these floorboards, the old ones that are rotted out. And I stopped at the one place and I picked up new tread plate for the floorboards on that thing. So I'm going to try to get those welded in today and go from there. And I was actually impressed to get these two floorboards, that's 1/8 inch tread plate, cut to size and bent over, was $42. For now, I'm going to get the 230 over here, and we're going to work on getting these new floors in there. So bear with me. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Well, you know the forklift's fixed. Come back for the next video and I'll be welding these in along with paint and decals and everything. I got my decals ordered on this thing. So if you want to see this thing go back together, get painted, all that stuff, come back for the next video. Otherwise, watch some of my other videos right here or here somewhere. I'm going to have some other videos for you to watch. And if you missed any of these, check them out. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Good girl, Maggie. You ready to make another video? Huh?